This says studies show the average black man will make $45K a year. Only 11% of all men and women will make over $100K this year. So when I hear my sister say they want a man who makes over $100K, do they realize they're competing with other women for about 7% of men? They don't care. They don't care about the numbers. They want what they want. And they're not budging on it until it's clear that they're old and washed up and they don't have any other choice but to settle for something. But honestly, a lot of them, they still won't get with an average man. They're sickened by an average man. They got little pieces of maybe a guy who was getting some paper, but they never got him fully, and they never will get him fully. But once they get a taste of it, they can never go back. So if she ever even had a one-night stand with a dude making a little bit of money, she can never truly respect a dude making $45K because she tasted better. Once they found a man that gave them that rush, whether it was because of his money, his swag, whatever, once they get a taste of a guy to give them that rush, they'll never be satisfied with anything less than that rush in that particular category. So if she dated a guy that took her on trips once a month, she'll never truly be satisfied with a guy who take her on a trip twice a year. If she jumped in bed with a dude who made her bust 2 times every time they jumped in the sack, she'll never be satisfied with a dude who only make her bust, once a month. You see what I'm saying? She'll never truly respect it. And that's why they say ladies should just, settle down with your high school sweetheart, keep a low body count, and live happily ever after. Because once you get all these different experiences, you're going to be comparing the guy you settle with all those other guys you've been with. That's why the lower the body count, the higher chance that your marriage or long-term relationship will work. The studies are out there.
I'm back from the date. And despite saying I wasn't broken from all the bad experiences of dating, I feel like I got a pretty big crack today. Date went fine.
There's no way to not be broken. If you keep going on dates and nothing is working out, it's just the human mind. You need to lock down a man between 18 and 23, period, and then ride it out with him. Thick and thin, ride it out with him. Because there's nothing out here in the dating field these days. Other than mental illness, depression, one-night stands, ghosting. And by the time you get 30, 35 years of that, 20 years of that, yeah, you're going to be damaged. I don't care how much therapy you get. You're going to be damaged.
Fine. Conversation was fine. And then, hold on, I gotta figure out how I'm going to explain this. It's been like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I've had a few drinks. Don't need to have any more. Got to drive home. Whatever. Also, it's like 5 o'clock. So I leave. We're ending the date. And I get out of my bar chair. And he motions for me to walk in front of him. I do. He sticks his foot in between my feet so that my foot catches. And I stumble and almost fall. He did it on purpose.
Okay, fellas. Safe to say, this isn't a good move on a date. I mean, I'm hoping most of you know this. But if any of you guys were still wondering if you should do stuff like this on a date with a woman, I say no. And honestly, even doing it with your guy friends is kind of immature and childish. And see, this is why, one of the reasons why I just keep to myself. I don't want to deal with that type of immature nonsense. But yeah, fellas, please don't do that.
And then I am almost to the doors that go from the bar to the restaurant. And I'm like sort of laughing it off, but also I'm like, what the fuck? And as I'm almost to the doors, he does it a second time. And I'm like putting my card back in my fanny pack and I'm like scared.
Wait, you wore a fanny pack on a date? Never mind. But is it a coincidence that she ended up on a date with a guy who would do something like this? Like I said, they love a-holes. There were plenty of respectable, nice guys in her inbox that wanted to take her out. It's no coincidence that she ended up on a date with a guy who was going to trip her in the middle of the date. Just keep that in mind.
It's not a good feeling to think you're about to eat shit. Not a fun feeling for me. He's laughing, having a great time. Then I get outside of the restaurant and I'm like, why are you doing that? And I turn around to talk to him, but he's in the middle of the third time tripping me on purpose because he's getting enjoyment out of that. I'm going to pause and remind you that I am 30 and this man is 36 years old. 36! He trips me a third time and then does this cute thing where he like puts his whole arm around my shoulders and like grabs me as I'm stumbling because I was just tripped for the third time, which
This cute thing? So wait, you're liking this? I don't know. Is this a horror story or did you go home with him? He said a cute thing. I told you they love a-holes.